What's up, everyone? This is Pete with another take. Just gonna be a reaction video. I'm doing it this way using the 4K camera instead of using the program I was using, ScreenPal. For some reason, whenever I record, especially with the new laptop, I can hear the video right as I pause and play, but some reason after I finish recording, it comes out choppy. Maybe the program I'm using is not good, but I'm gonna do it this way so the information can be clear in light of the PowerPoint that's gonna come out on August 16th, right? So I wanna go over this video. Right, and it's titled "Why the Dominican Republic Hates Haiti." I'm gonna go through my notes and also give my thoughts. So let's get into this.
Haiti and the Dominican Republic are close, but only in the geographical sense. The two countries may exist on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, but historically they have rarely seen eye to eye. Tensions due to controversial law changes and the recent hanging of a Haitian man in the Dominican Republic have experts worried that the island is on the brink of a humanitarian crisis. So why do Haiti and the Dominican Republic hate each other? Well, to understand the conflict, we have to go back to 1697, when France and Spain divided Hispaniola in two after battling for control. Haiti.
All right, let's start there, right? In a lot of presentations, articles, they always start with the Treaty of Ryswick, but that's not where it started. Let's not forget that it actually began with the devastations of Osorio, and that was 1605 through 1606, when the Spanish ordered the depopulation of the Western Third to curb contraband trade. The conflict does not begin in 1697 with the Treaty of Ryswick. It began with the Osorio devastations. This soon would allow the French to have a presence on the island well before the first signed treaty. The Ryswick Treaty was the end result of the Osorio devastations, which, when many people speak on the evolutions of the two nation states, they always skip the Osorio devastations, jumping straight into the Treaty of Ryswick. If the Osorio devastations never took place, the Treaty of Ryswick, as well as the other treaties that came well after, such as the Aranjuez, Basel, the 1929 Frontier Treaty, and the 1936 revision of the 1929 Frontier Treaty, would have not taken place. And all these treaties together, which will give rise to the border which we have today on the island of Hispaniola, that shares two distinctly different nations on the island today. Essentially, the island's path would have been a different one. Let's continue.
Gained independence from France in 1804 and subsequently took over the Spanish Dominican side in an effort to free the entire island of slavery.
Let's go over this part, okay? First, whenever talk about the invasions, right, the main reason was for Haiti wanted to protect against the threat of an external threat, such as France or another major European power. They believe, they have the fear of a major European power or France retaking their former colonial possession. Now, the idea of Haiti going into Santo Domingo, right, to abolish slavery, that's a myth, okay? And these are some things that we need to consider. One, slavery in Santo Domingo was practically non-existent. Why is this? The main reason for this is due to Spain had abandoned the colony already, right, for nearly 3 centuries. And this created unique conditions for the Tainos, the Spanish, and the Africans that the Spanish brought, which the Spanish had Hispanicized the remaining Tainos, right, who were reduced or due to population bottlenecks, right? And the Africans that the Spanish brought, who were also Hispanicized, and this created a unique mixture that will later give rise to the Dominican people on the island. Okay, so here's the other thing, right? In Santo Domingo, right? They never had large plantations that in-house enslaved people of African descent. We have no evidence for that. It never happened. It never took place. Also, Santo Domingo never had black codes or Jim Crow laws like in the United States. And as you will see in my PowerPoint, right, on August 16th, this is a huge mistake that people make, by comparing another history of the United States with the history with Haiti and the Dominican Republic on the island of Santo Domingo, which the two had entirely different demographic origins. Even Frank Moyabone said that that the two nations on the island are totally dissimilar. Okay? Haiti's independence from their French oppressors was the result of a desire to end the brutal plantation economy that was operated under the French colony. And let's also go into the 22-year occupation, okay? The 22-year occupation was the result of Haiti desiring to protect against an external threat, as I already stated, which was the risk of France retaking their former colonial possession, of which later would evolve into a military occupation. By this time, there were huge differences. Slavery in Santo Domingo was practically non-existent. Santo Domingo had evolved into cattle ranching, meat, and contraband trade. The Spanish ceased importing slaves by 1540, and by 1820, there were 7,000 slaves in Santo Domingo, as opposed to 500,000 who were imported by the French by the year 1791. While Saint-Domingue was an export economy based on slave labor, Santo Domingo did not have an export slave economy. Also, another thing that needs to be considered when it comes to the 22-year occupation, Boyer brought the entire island into debt, and both Haitians and Dominicans, this upset both Haitians and Dominicans. Another thing is, Boyer went with what didn't work, right? Boyer followed the same policies from Toussaint, Dessalines, and Christophe, and that was reviving the attempt to revive the French plantation economy, which all attempts failed, right? Which Santo Domingo already had a viable economy, right? Which entailed tobacco growing, cutting mahogany, right? Cattle ranching on top of that, on top of the ports, which Boyer shut down, and which this debt that Boyer created, right, during that 22-year occupations, this would desire Dominicans to separate from Haiti in 1844, which is those two historical manifestos explains, due to social and economic reasons, why Haiti separated from Haiti in 1844.
Haiti occupied the Dominican side for 22 years. During that time, the Spanish-speaking Dominicans were restricted to speaking French, and Haitians enforced oppressive rules on labor and the...
All right, let's go over that. Spanish was prohibited from all official documents during the occupation. Let's continue.
Although the Dominican Republic eventually gained its independence from Haiti, it's thought that this period of occupation was where their relationship started to sour. Since then, several social and economic factors have contributed to deepening divisions. Today, tensions are largely motivated by racism.
All right, there's a lot to cover. We're gonna go over this, okay? First, the tensions today is not due to racism, okay? This is why I have stated It's better to understand that it is an ethnic conflict that's rooted in social and economic implications. The relationship had already had a bad taste among the Spanish on the eastern side, right? With the 1805 Mocha Massacre. On the Dessalines and Crissafi, who slaughtered the French, Spaniards, and those of mixed descent. The Mocha Massacre was the result of Dessalines wanting to oust the remaining French on the island. The tensions is largely due to Dominicans not wanting to assume responsibility for Haiti's social and economic problems. Tensions between the two nations is because of an ethnic conflict, not because of xenophobia and racism. Okay? Remember, these are two nations that have entirely different demographic origins. They did not evolve the same. And the social context and the tensions between the two different ethnic groups on the island is not the same between the tensions, the historical tensions between blacks and whites in the States. It's not the same history. And people continue to get that twisted. It's not the same. Right? You have two nations on the island with entirely different demographic origins. The majority of Dominicans do not want to assume responsibility for Haiti's social and economic problems, largely due to Haiti's political instability and migrant crisis.
Human rights experts observe that Dominicans openly discriminate against Haitians because they perceive them to be more black, despite both cultures having African ancestry.
Okay, let's go over this part. This is another one that gets misunderstood. Okay? Dominicans are an admixed racial group. Okay? Dominicans do not identify as with skin color. They identify with where they reside, right? And demographically, the Haitian people, they are an Afro-Franco ethnic group that were imported into the island by the French. Okay? One, for Dominicans, right, in the Cibao, right, Dominicans in the Cibao will have a significantly higher European percentage. And why is this? And that's due to, right, the people in the Cibao being descendants of Canary Islanders that never left the island. So let's check this out. Dominicans having more European heritage than the Haitian neighbor is somewhat true. Dominicans in the Cibao tend to have a high European percentage, as they are descendants of European migrants that never left the island, right? They are descendants of Canary Islanders, Portuguese, and different parts of Iberian Peninsula, including those who are not Spanish from the Basque Country, which are a different European ethnic group altogether. Dominicans in the Cibao, they have the highest European ancestry on the island. And that's important to note. Credit to O.D. Rivera and also Alfredo Vargas.
Dominicans argue that they have more European heritage than their Haitian neighbors. This anti-Haitian sentiment has endured since 1937, when dictator Rafael Trujillo led the Dominican Republic. Rafael was obsessed with pale skin, and under his rule, around 10 to 25,000 dark-skinned Haitians living in Dominican border towns were murdered.
Let's go over this part. First, let's go over the factors that gave rise to the Parsley Massacre. Okay, the first was the deportations from Cuba during the 1930s, right? And the second was the border conflicts. The third was the ceding of land to Haiti in an effort to resolve the border conflicts, which started first under Ulysses Hero illegally. Okay? Dominicans were, again, you gotta understand, were an admixed ethnic group. The sentiment among Dominicans is once again due to social and economic implications, not because of race in comparison to whites and blacks in the States. Anti-Dominican rhetoric has evolved the conflicts to be based on race. The implications are rooted in social and economic issues. The 1937 massacre was a result of border conflicts after the Dominican Republic ceded 6,200 kilometers of land to Haiti between the years 1929 and 1936 in an effort to resolve this conflict.
Economically, the Dominican Republic fares better than Haiti. Experts suggest that this disparity comes down to the way Hispaniola is divided. While the Dominican Republic enjoys plentiful rains, the mountains that border the two nations cut off Haiti's rainfall. The semi-arid climate, coupled with deforestation problems, has meant Haiti's agricultural production is more restricted than the Dominican Republic's.
Okay, let's go over this. Okay? Again, the differences between the economy with the Dominican Republic and Haiti is how the two nations on the island have evolved differently from one another. Okay, that's the first thing. The Dominican Republic fares better than Haiti largely due to both nations on the island evolving differently. Haiti struggled to revive their plantation economy and continued to practice many policies the French used that led to Haiti's current troubles, including environmental deforestation. Okay? Now, differences in ecology. Haiti, well after independence, continued the French practice of deforestation. The rapid deforestation of Haiti began during the French colonial period, facilitated by slavery of enslaved people of African descent, and was intensified when coffee was introduced in 1730. Upland forests were cleared, and 50 years later, a quarter of the colony's land was under coffee. The system of plantation monoculture and clean cultivation between rows of coffee, indigo, tobacco, sugarcane exhausted the soil's nutrients and led to rapid soil erosion in Haiti.
All that being said, when the 2010 earthquake devastated Haiti, the Dominican Republic was quick to jump to its aid, providing food, water, and rescue workers. Sadly, this feeling of goodwill didn't.
Okay, let's go over this. When Haiti is ever in crisis, it's a documented fact that the Dominican Republic is always the first to respond.
Last. So what went wrong? Well, after the earthquake, more Haitians took refuge in the Dominican Republic.
This is an example of the ongoing migrant problem due to Haiti's political instability and also rising gang violence in Haiti.
However, a recent High Court ruling retroactive to 1930 means that refugees can only be granted Dominican citizenship if at least one of their parents is a legal resident. According to reports, more than 200,000 Haitians are now stateless.
Okay, let's go over these. The constitution of both Haiti and the Dominican Republic are rooted in ethnic origins, just like Japan. Not like in the U.S., which is based on territory instead of ethnic origins. Under the Dominican Constitution, Dominicans are those born to Dominican parents and those naturalized under the Constitution and the law. Dominicans have a right to secure their borders and determine who are naturalized. Interesting to note, right, with the Haitian Constitution, right, in section 41-1, it states, no Haitian needs a visa to leave the country or to return. But got to consider also many Haitians do not return because of Haiti's ongoing political instability, of which you can learn if you go look up the article that was published in 2017. You can find out on ResearchGate. It's called Haiti, A Political and Economy Analysis.
Following the decision, Haitian-Dominican tensions have escalated into violence, with reports of Dominicans burning the Haitian flag and open calls for the deportation of all Haitian refugees. Experts suggest that countries like the United States and other Caribbean nations may have to get involved if the new ruling continues to perpetuate human rights abuses against Haitian refugees.
All right, this is the last part. The Dominican Republic is a developing country. The Dominican Republic does not have the resources to take in many migrants as other developed countries such as the US, Canada, and France, right? These main powers, they would fare a lot better with dealing with an influx of so many migrants. At the end of the day, the problem is not because of another nation's skin color, but because of social and economic implications, hindering another nation's problems to another, having its own issues and people to take care of. So this is all for today. More of this will be explored with the PowerPoint that will come out on August 16th, along with the free PDF, which you can download on the Confederation of the Antilles YouTube page on the community tab. Like, comment, and share. Don't be reactionary. Put your thought into this. And until the next bill.